All right. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is the world ready for me? Yeah. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome back to a new. This is gonna be a really quick video. I'm just gonna be answering a few questions. I can't necessarily say that this is according to Brit Chit Chat, but this is just me answering you guys' questions about me being a new business owner. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brittany. I am the owner and founder and CEO, babe, of Tari Blends. Tari Blends is a fresh raw juice company based here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I would love to sell you some juice if you're in the area. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. As you guys know, I always have different segments on my Instagram where I'll accept questions and answer it here on the channel. So if you're not, make sure that you're following me on Instagram. Here we go right here, according to what? Brit. Also, here's my business Instagram, Tari Blends. There we go. Okay, so the first question is, how has entrepreneurship shaped your mindset, lifestyle, and approach to life? So this is a great question. I feel like I'll start with the lifestyle part. The way that it's shifted my lifestyle is I'm living in I'm only eating what I kill, right? And what that means is, when I say kill meaning if I don't post, if I don't go to events, if I don't tell people about myself, if I don't do the things that is required to run a business, I don't eat. And so I think I've always been a dreamer, and I've always had big aspirations and hopes for my life. But having a 9 to 5 gives you this stability that at the end of the day, as long as you go to work, you know that you're gonna get a check. So if you don't put nothing towards your dreams, you're not really hurting yourself. But now that I have a business, it's a little different, because if I don't kill, I don't eat. So you eat what you kill. Yeah. So I would say that that's how it's shaped my lifestyle. And then also too, it's crazy because before I started my business, I felt God really pushing me to live a healthier lifestyle. I've always been into holistic and natural things, but I felt off. I felt off drastically throughout the years. I don't know why or how or whatever, just life. But I feel now that I have a wellness brand, I'm even more convicted to live a lifestyle that is well, because it's how I'm going to sit here and tell people buy these raw juices, these are the benefits, and I'm not even living a clean lifestyle for myself, So I feel it has pushed me into a deeper space of accountability, and I appreciate that. Again, I have a business, and my business right now is running and it's doing phenomenal. I'm so proud of my business, and a lot of business is starting to come to me. But if I never post about my business another day, I will never get no more clients, So I feel it's making me more disciplined, and it's making me be more accountable, because it's just me. And I want to just live off I don't want to have to work a 9 to 5 or go back to working a 9 to 5 or anything like that. So the only way to do that is to be serious about my business, And I'm actually currently doing a 30-day challenge. So I don't know how many days I'm in. I'm at least a weekend, but I'm doing every day for the next 30 days, put an hour towards my business. And I've been doing that, and I've the bike is moving forward, But I will say that the more that I do it, the more I'm I need more than just an hour every day. But that hour is still keeping me accountable, because there are days sometime, or at least before I started this challenge, where okay, 2-3 days go by, I don't really touch my business, but then I got an event coming up, so I'll go make juices, and then boom. But this is making me and I feel I also was kind of lacking a little bit with the groundwork. It's at this point, I've been doing it long enough where I can make the juices and go sell them. That's the easy part for me. But the hardest part is actually working on the business and the foundational part of the business. So this challenge that I'm on has been helping me do that. So I hope that answers that question. But yeah. Next part is, what's your favorite thing about being a business owner? I love that. It's something about my business that I feel reconnects me with my purpose, and it feels good to just, how you're at work and you have ideas, but the person you're working for, you have to run their agenda, or you have to abide by their calendar. If you come up with a good idea, it's yeah, that's a great idea. Let's see where it can fit. But it's like, because this is my business, it's like I can throw myself at it fully, you know? And I feel like my business is putting me in my element in so many ways. So I just love that I have something that I own and that I have full creative control over, and that like I have a space that I can actually like do the things that I aspire to do, and I don't have to wait for like nobody to tell me yes or when, or you know, all of those things. So I really do like that a lot. I like that a lot. Like I like that a lot. And I'm realizing like even to the whole like it's bringing me back to purpose thing. Like I don't know if you guys know, if you're new here, like my degree is in social work. So, and I've been having this itch, like I'm like, I don't know what it is, I just want to go back to school, which I don't know if I really will. But I will say like learning business and learning the world of business, like there's so much more to business than there is hustling. And like when I first started, it was just a hustle, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna make these juices, I'm gonna flip them, I'm gonna sell them, and then people gonna buy it. But to really like, my goal or what I'm working to is building a company, like building an actual enterprise, you know? So with that comes a lot of like, there's like business is its own world, just how engineering is its own world, or pharmaceuticals is its own world. So like learning about business itself, like I really do enjoy that. So yeah, that's my favorite thing so far about being a business owner. The next question is, where did you get your name from? So the name of my business is called Tari Blends. It's pronounced, say it with me, Tari Blends. Tari Blends actually means fresh in Hebrew, right? So yeah, so Tari Blends means fresh in Hebrew. And I got the name because when I was searching for the name, I was just like, okay, God, like, what should the name be? And I said to God, I want the name to be in Hebrew. The reason why I wanted the name to be in Hebrew is because, so I'm a Christian. If you guys don't know, this is a really important thing to know when studying the Bible, that the Old Testament is written in Hebrew and the New Testament is written in Greek. And it's really important to know that because sometimes like a different language may have a different meaning of a word than how we use it. So, you know, I always love like when I don't understand something to like Google it and be like, okay, what does this mean in Hebrew, or what does this mean in Greek? And so yeah, I just was like, God, I want like, and the reason why I choose like Hebrew over Greek is like because like, you know, I said like the law first mentioned, like the law, like when it first started, and like even though we're not under the covenant of the law anymore, it's like this is how God initially intended. So I'm going back to Hebrew. But this is not a Bible lesson. This is just where I got the why from. So yeah, Tari means fresh in Hebrews. So yeah, everybody say it with me. Tari Blends, and Tari means fresh in Hebrew. So yeah, I love that. How was the startup process? Okay, so the startup process, so it's a two-part question. How was the startup process, and did it cost a lot to start? So I would say the startup process I would say it was pretty easy, but there was a lot for me to learn in a sense. So it did not, I want to honestly say, y'all, it cost me like $60 to start up my business, but let me tell you why. When I started my business, I was in this space where I was just like, okay, God, I'm in a space where when God gives me the vision, I'm going to start working on it. Like, I'm not going to wait for things to be perfect. And I feel like that's the only reason why it didn't cost me much to start the business, because if I would have waited for things to be perfect, like for example, I have yet to have like a brand shoot. Like I am not a graphic designer. That is not my forte. But like I made my logo on Canva. Like have you, I'm sure, well, I don't know. Here's a picture of the bottle if you guys like haven't seen it. But like the bottle design, like I designed it, which again is not really my forte. But I haven't like officially had like a graphic designer come in and like make me a website, do me a brand shoot, do product shoots, things like that. Now, if I would have done those things, then yeah, it would have cost me a lot more money. But the way that I have run my business though so far is my business is paying for everything. So when I say it cost me like $60, it's like, okay, I got $20 worth of bottles from Amazon. I got $40 worth of fruit from the farmer's market. That probably made me, you know, X amount of juices, which I probably ended up flipping that and getting like $120, and then okay, now I took that now out of that $120, I'm using that to pay for everything else. And so now I'm in a space where like I have built my business bank account enough where like, okay, if I want to have a brand photo shoot, or if I want to, you know, do product shots or whatever, the business is paying for it. I'm not paying for it out of pocket. So that is the approach that your business will take when it gets to a certain point. Like, you shouldn't be paying for much after a while. But like, my business really didn't cost much because all I needed was a bottle and fruit. Like, and you know, for me, $60 worth of fruit is gonna make me probably $200 worth of juices or something. You get what I mean? So it really didn't cost a lot for me personally. But I would say some of the trials that I had was just like, I started off selling my juices on a belt line in Atlanta. So if you guys aren't familiar with Atlanta, we have like a belt line, and that's where people go like walking, running, and you know, vendors and stuff like that will go out there. And so one thing that I didn't do, that was my initial plan. No, my initial plan was actually to go to Hills for ATL. And so I bought a whole bunch of fruit, and the days that I was planning to start, that whole weekend, for like a half of a week, it rained. And so for me, I wasn't really prepared for that because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what else to do. Like, what am I gonna do with all of the fruit? So I had a lot of fruit that went bad. So that was like money that I wasted. So that happened. And then like I had a juicer, but the juicer that I had was like a regular everyday juicer. So what ended up happening was I was making so much juice on it that it broke. So I probably was able to make like 16 juices where I was trying to make like 50 juices. But again, like I was just like, it is what it is. Like, I didn't get to finish. Let me just go and start. Like, let me just go and sell. And that day, that was my first time ever going on the belt line, and I sold out. And so, yeah, so I would say if anything, it was the trial and error more so came from like me not doing enough research, you know. But I'm not even mad at it. Like, I feel like I needed those experiences to teach me like, okay, how much is an industrial juicer? What would an industrial juicer do for me better than an everyday juicer? Or what do I need to help preserve the fruit? Or, you know, let me always make sure that if I'm planning to do a pop-up outside, like I look at the weather, like, you know, things like that. So those were kind of like the main two issues that I had was like not doing enough research in terms of the weather. And then, like I said, I had all of that fruit, and it's like, what do you do? So yeah, but it always worked out. Like I said, like my juicer broke, and then I literally, my first time popping out, I sold out. So like when things like that would happen, I'd be like, yo, I'm on to something. Like, let me just keep going. And then it just kind of grew from there. So yeah. The next question is, how did it feel getting your first order? I'm sure that feeling was like no other. Yo, when I got my first order, I was scared. Like, I literally text like somebody, and I was just like, hey, like, you know, this is a business that I'm getting ready to starting. And he was like, oh, like, cool. When he placed this order, he placed this order for 6. And I was like, wait, what? Like, huh? And yo, and it's so crazy. Like, my second week in business, I had like 80 orders. And I was just like, whoa. Like, so I was more so surprised at the fact that like people were ordering. Like, I feel like I didn't really expect that, but all of the support that I got, it helped me to start. And so like, if I had to give advice, and I'm still very much a new business owner myself, but if I had to give new business owners any advice, I would say read this book. No. It's not even so much of new business owners. I think if you are a dreamer and you aspire to live a life that is bigger than yourself, everybody, you need to read this book. So I read this book several years ago, but it teaches you how to like pay attention to the signs, right? And so like for me, I'm gonna give y'all a few signs or a few things that happened to me that made me be like, I'm on to something. So probably a couple of weeks before I started my business, I met this girl who had a juicing business, and I loved the juices. Like, I thought they were great. I loved her brand. I loved the way that she set up. So I was planning to reach out to her to be like, hey, like, this is what I'm starting. Like, I would love to learn from you, like, get any insight, whatever. The day that I went to go DM her, she blocked me. Mind you, I didn't know this girl from a can of paint. And mind you, so I probably had 20 followers on my business page. She blocked my personal page, she blocked my business page, and I was like, what? Like, I haven't even sold a juice yet. Like, I'm so confused. But I was just like, okay. I must be on to something. She must see something that I don't see. Next. So then the day that I planned to go out and sell my juices, my juicer broke in the middle of me juicing. So I'm like, well, what the heck? Like, how am I gonna make the juices moving forward? Or what does this mean? Like, I only have 16 juices. Like, I was planning, like, am I gonna go out there with like what? Like, and the first day that I went out, I sold out. Probably 2 weeks into me, like, I set a goal. I was like, okay, this week I wanna sell 50 juices. So 80. And I was just like, whoa. Like, so all of those moments, I was just like, signs. Like, you're onto something. So, yeah, man. And it's just like, it's coming to me. Like, I have to do the work. Trust me, you know that. But outside of me doing the work, it's just coming to me. Like, people are coming to me. Like, first TikTok that I made about my business, it went viral. I was just like paying attention. I'm like, yo, I'm on to something, you know? I remember this guy, like, he came from out of town. He don't even live in Atlanta. He just saw my TikTok and ordered like 6-7 juices. Like, so I'm like, whoa, like, because when I started this business, I was just intending to like hustle, like just flip some juices. I had just lost my job and I was just like, okay, like, I need to keep money in my pocket. Like, what could I do? Like, I wasn't expecting to actually run a business or for it to flow and be a business, you know? And so, yeah, and here we are now. We're 4 months in. What is it? September, October, November, December, January. Yeah. So we're 4 months in. We have sold a lot. Like, I have sold, I wish I could tell you, but I know I have undoubtedly have sold like over 500 juices, and I make them all by hand. I make them, it's just me. I don't have a team. Like 500 juices, y'all, with just these hands. Yeah. So we're doing it. We're growing, and I'm super excited to see what 2024 has for my business. So of course, I'm so transparent. I'm an open book. So if you would like to learn more about my journey, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you like this video and that you comment, but really make sure that you're subscribed, because as I go through the journey, I'm going to be posting about it and bringing my girls along. So if you have made a decision to subscribe, welcome to Brit Nation. So happy to have you here. And I hope that I answered these questions. I don't have no mastermind answers for you guys, but I did just want to share my journey and how I started. So again, thank you to everyone who has given me support, and I will see you in the next video.